Okay, let's start with the practical training methods. I brought with me an overview, and as well I will show you afterwards a timeline of how our trainings evolve over the 3 years. So let's start with a general overview. So in total we have about 4 different areas in which we train our students. So first, let's have a look at the soft skill development, which is supposed to take place at the companies as well. So what we are doing is we are having different seminars which focus on various soft skills, like teamwork, to give you an idea of what that might be. For instance, are the students supposed to present a certain topic and to develop the presentation within a group? Those topics are selected by us, are given to them, and by that they can train their teamwork, and also they give feedback on how well the teamwork worked out. Also, even in this example, we have the presentation skills. So sometimes we combine the different soft skills in this case when they have the task to prepare a presentation in a group and present it afterwards. We can check or train the presentation skills at the same time. And also we have communication skills training. For that we often use external trainers who, for example, go with them to an external site to kind of change the setting, because we like to change the setting sometimes to take it out of the work environment to an external provider where we can just, like in a room like this, or sometimes even in rural areas where there are green fields where they can practice on certain topics. And we do have a communication seminar. This takes place after 1 year, after they've been with us 1 year. We do that because after 1 year they all have their first experience on how communication works, or sometimes doesn't work. And as I said, we have this system of 6 internships, and within those 6 internships our students gain various insights. This is the right bubble above. And what we are trying to do is to give our students broad knowledge or a broad overview for their personal development, to find out in which area they would like to work in the future. So we start with basic functions. I've shown it in the last slide, for instance, logistics, and later we go into advanced corporate functions such as finance. Also, we do internships abroad. Those take place in the 4th or 5th semester of their studies, and they go to one of our subsidiaries abroad. Those can be in Europe, but also around the globe, for instance, in China, in the US, but also in Australia. This is supported by our in-house complementary training, which you can see on the right hand on the below. And the first thing I've put on there is the language training. Our students receive language trainings for their entire studies, which is for 3 years. They receive language training in either English, if their English skills are not high enough, or in Spanish or Chinese or Mandarin. This is because those fields are the most important for our company. Also, they receive IT trainings, especially in the beginning when they're fresh out of school. Sometimes they're not that used to Excel, and this is pretty important for the working environment. So we especially train Excel in the beginning, so they're getting used to utilize that. And also we do train them on pharmaceutical know-how, which makes sense, so they learn how our main products work and what the pharmaceutical industry is about in Germany and in the world, and what is most important to know. And the last thing, I always talked about that, is the internal coaching system. We talked about the learning objectives already, about the development dialogues we are doing to have those learning objectives discussed. The self-reflection. This self-reflection takes place within the development dialogue, and it says self-reflection, but actually it is me asking, so how was your last phase? How did you perform? How are you feeling about it? So this is the self-reflection, and I also talked about the development dialogues, and there's also feedback loops on it. This refers to a system we implemented, which is called rating sheet. I will show that in the quality panel tomorrow, where the student gives feedback and also receives feedback from the department. So these are basically the 4 fields we are training in. And here I brought you a busy slide about the about one timeline of one of our students. So this our studies start as the 1st of October, so they're heading up next week. And we first start with the first theory phase, then there is the first internship taking place, here shown as Praxis 1. And so we always have the change between green, which is theory, and blue, which is praxis. And actually, I don't know if you can see it, that sometimes there are yellow spots between, and those yellow spots are where we have extra spots for trainings, where we do the IT trainings or where we have pharmaceutical trainings, and we just put them after about each semester. We do a certain training block. And also what you can see on the below, which is supposed to be a pink, this is the language training which is taking place over the 3 years. The 3 years. The 3 years. The 3 years. The 3 years.